Assembly to move this from the city square. Again, from the square to council chambers or to your front porch. Remove the stage. Remove the stage. Remove the stage. Remove the stage.
Keep going.
Remove the stage. 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 Remove the stage.
And here's another atrocity. So right today, you see the gate that's around the monument. But what happened was it was damaged. And taxpayer dollars went to reconstructing this fence. So black citizens paid taxes to contribute to this system of hate, this statue of hate and oppression. We're not doing it anymore. The only taxpayer dollars that should be contributed to this symbol of hate and oppression is those to remove it. And that's it. That's it. We're not having it anymore. So here's what we got to do again. We're going to emphasize it and emphasize it again. We have to show up at council. We got 3 votes. We have 3 votes. We need the 4th. And that person is the mayor of this city. And we're going to put pressure on every last one of them, all 7. If you feel like you can't vote for the monument, then we feel like you ought not be on council. You're not going to sit at council chambers any longer and allow systems of oppression and hate to continue to reign over the citizens of this city. Now is our time to stand. Now is our time to fight. So again, when is the council meeting?
Tuesday.
What time is the council meeting?
7 o'clock.
Now, it may be a virtual meeting. And if it is virtual, you ought to pay attention.
We're still going down there.
We'll send a link. We'll still go down there.
We're still going down there.
There is nothing that's going to stop us in this moment. Because here's the thing, we can't wait. We cannot wait. So all of us together, we can stand and do this. So again, together we can say what? Remove the stain. 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 And another thing. Some people may not understand why we're standing in front of a monument that black people fought in. A war to take down a monument that represents a war that black people fought in. Those black people were hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok, under the auspice that this war would somehow set them free or give them freedom. The black man who fought in this war didn't want to fight in this war. The black man who died in this war didn't want to die in this war. In fact, we have fought in every war in this country. Every war in this country. And so for those of you who don't understand why we tried to get rid of a Confederate monument, because it represents a group of people who wanted to keep the whip on our back. It represents a group of people who wanted to keep us in fields picking cotton. It represents a group of people who had no problem raping our women. It represents a group of people who had no problem, like our president, separating babies from their families. It represents a system who still doesn't care about you or your future. It represents a system that makes it easy for bigoted cops to put knees on necks and chokeholds around necks. It represents a system that can care less about the breath in your body. And so we care less about this symbol where you put it at, you can burn it to the ground, crumble it, you can hit it with a
I can't breathe. I can't breathe.
Public space. And again, listen, the people who are in your ears that are sitting on their couches, the people who are on your lives right now, giving you hearts and lights, tell them to get up, and fight, and stand with you. It's good. I'm glad if you can't get out here. If you can't get out here, that's cool. But if you're just looking from a distance, I don't need your lights. I need your voice. I don't need your hearts. I need your voice.
We need you to stand up. Black, white, green, yellow. I don't care who you are. If you live in this country today, there is no reason why you should continue to have bigotry in your hearts. Your kids are going to school with us. That's right. We don't have a segregated restaurant in this country. You can't remove our black faces from your sight. But we can remove this stain from our sight. Everything in our power to remove this stain, and like my brother said earlier, and like Malcolm said a long time ago, by any means necessary. So we're going to remove it, but we cannot do it by ourselves.
Come on.
From Chick-fil-A to the City Hall.
We got it.
We're going to do whatever we need to do to make this happen
right.
for our people. We're going to go back to our cities. We're going to go back to our brothers and our sisters, again, who are liking and hearting us on Facebook, and say, you need to get up and get out.
Stop being a
And make sure that at the end of this year, when it's time to go to those voting booths, you remember the people who liked and hearted you from a distance. You remember the lack of Facebook statuses that stood with you. You remember the people who were silent when you were out here talking about what needs to happen. Remember the people that tried to hide behind politics about what they can and can't do when it's time to vote. You make sure you hold the people in your life accountable, as well as the council members, state senators, congressmen, and presidents who want your vote. Remove the stain.
Remove the stain. Remove the stain. Remove the stain. Remove the stain. Remove the stain. Remove the stain.
And another thing.
And another thing.
What's most important to us now is that we control the our people group first. I'm saying that we need to take the money that we are the biggest consumers in this country. We can control more with our dollars than anything. We can control who goes to the White House. We can control what businesses come into our neighborhoods. We need to look around, collectively get together, start putting our dollars together and start buying the lots next to your house. Start buying the houses in your neighborhood. Gentrify your own hood, in the words of Jay. We have to start taking back economic power. Economic power will bring political power. You bring political power, you can get whatever you want in this country. I don't need reparations. I need my people to stand up together so that we can move things bigger than this statue. Right? We can move things, we can move the needle of our people forward. We need more teachers. We need more black men teachers in our school system. So they'll see black educated men. Our young boys will see some men that they can look up to and move forward to. We need to take back our communities. We don't need to let a whole bunch of people come in and gentrify our hoods. Pay attention to what's going on around you, black people. This symbol right here is a hand in the back of oppression, pushing it forward over and over and over again. And here's the truth. It's up to you to change it. It's up to us to change it. So remove the stain. 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 So, to stay engaged in what we're going to do concerning the monument and beyond, with police policies and everything else that we've talked about, we want you to do this for us. Pull out your phone. That's right. Pull out your phone. We want you to text, I want justice. I want justice. To 84576. Again, I want justice. To 84576. Gotta make sure you get the text from us, so you know when we're showing up and what's going on. Because again, this is going to be a movement for us, not a moment. A movement for us, and not a moment. A movement for us, and not a moment. So again, text, I want justice.
All one word.
All one word.
The 845.
The 84576. 84576. Make sure you text it. Now be careful. As we said earlier, there's going to be a delay tactic. There's going to be some council members that say, hey, wait a minute. We got to check with the city engineer. Hey, wait a minute. We got to check with the city attorney. Hey, wait a minute. We got to check with the court case. No. They tried to do it the last time we were out here to remove it. And John Rowe came out and removed it, and they said they needed a court opinion. So they put it in the courts. No one challenged the monument. The city council put it in the court. And the judge said there's no one here to challenge it. So you can go ahead and remove it on your own. But here we are today, still with it right there. Delay tactic. Delay tactic. No more delays. 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 And here's the thing. We understand what the legislation says about July 1. But you can plan now and get the votes now. So on July 1, that symbol of oppression goes down first thing. So we're going to say to council, once July 1 hits, that's it. Nothing else we want to see. We want to see that symbol removed first thing. So on Tuesday, we're going to see which council member comes out first. We're going to see which one stands strong. We're going to see which one speaks to bigotry and hate and the removal of this symbol. It's time to show up. It's time to show out. It's time to remove this symbol. Now let me say to the daughters of the Confederacy, I know you're a little mad. I know you're upset. It's been hundreds of years that you've been able to come around and do your induction ceremonies right here at this monument. It's been many years where you can stand and say, yep, you can do what you want.
You can have the black president, but yet and still our symbols, our legacy, yet still remains. So I say to the sons and the daughters of the Confederacy, your time is up. Your time is up. You better come now and take pictures. You better come now and hover around it, because this thing is about to be history. It's going to be history, and we're going to remove it from town square. So again, all of us together, this moment is about us. And if you'll stand with us, if you won't get tired and won't get weary, if you be strengthened and keep moving, regardless of the circumstances, regardless of the limitation, regardless of the mountains that we'll have to climb, we can do this. We can do this. We'll move from the monument and we'll go down to the next symbols of oppression. But it's upon us. So again, what are we here to do? To say collectively, remove the stain. Remove the stain. Remove the stain. Remove the stain.
Remove the stain. Remove the stain.
And another thing. So we are here to remove the stain of the Confederate monument on Portsmouth, Virginia. I am a Portsmouth, Virginia native. I grew up here. I grew up in London Oaks, so I'm just a kid from London Oaks. I graduated from IC Norcom. The pride of the black community, but the IC Norcom that was on Turnpike Boulevard. So when we sit here and we talk about police brutality and we want to merge the community, it's hard to feel like you can merge a community when you got to walk around under the shadow of a Confederate monument. The very symbolism of oppression. And it's hard, and James Boyd brought up the Daughters of the Confederacy. I am baffled that they will fight for something that Robert E. Lee did not even want to be a part of. So this is when you pull up your history on. This is when you pull up your history. So Robert E. Lee, based on the history that we was taught, so based on the history that we learned in school, Robert E. Lee did not even want to fight with the Confederacy. He just didn't want to tell Virginia no. So he decided to fight for the Confederacy, but when he lost, and they were declared traitors, Robert E. Lee said, do not bury me in that uniform. So they're fighting for something that one of the leaders of the Confederacy did not even want to be a part of. And why? Is that to continuously oppress black people? Is that to continuously remind us of a history that we should be trying to move away from? It's funny how 9/11 we should never forget. But when it comes to slavery, get over it. Get over it. How are we supposed to get over it? How are we supposed to move along when every time we come to get something to eat, there's a reminder right there? And then every time we fight to have something removed that we were told 2 years ago would be removed, then we have people showing up threatening our lives. It's a shame. It's crazy. It's disrespectful. And I don't understand how we could ever become one Portsmouth when we are trying to fight for equality and justice and to be treated fairly and with respect. What other country in the world continues to have monuments and public places against the side that lost? And it's often illegal. You don't see Germany waving Nazi flags and walking around with statues of Hitler. Why? Because it was oppressive. You don't see, we don't wave the flag of Britain here. Why? Because we beat them. It's very important to understand that when we fight for things that you cannot be discouraged, that you cannot be forced to give up, because oftentimes when black people protest, because I want to say this, America loves to protest, except for when black people doing it. Because if this was happening anywhere in the world other than America, the news would be saying, it's democracy in action. They would be sending aid, not the military. The leaders would be saying that this is how democracy works. But in America, when black people boycott, it's an issue. And then they talk about rioting. I want to remind you of the bloody history of America today. I want to remind you of the bloody history of America today. The first official act of revolution, of the Revolutionary War, was the Boston Tea Party. And what was that if it was not a riot? Now, we don't condone rioting, but what I'm saying is America has a bloody history. And as a black woman, I want to remind you that the first blood that was spilled in the Revolution for America's independence was that of a free black man named Crispus Attucks. You look it up. So our blood was spilled for the very liberation of a country that refuses to allow our liberation, that refuses to allow our freedom, that continues to want to show signs of oppression. Guess what? You don't have to destroy it. Put it in a museum. Put it somewhere else, but remove it from here. Remove it from here. I'm just tired of it. We tired.
John Rowe, it has to go.
Where John Rowe at?
John Rowe, it has to go. 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 I'm amazed of the silence of our elected officials who know in this moment. The moment now requires more than just empathy. It requires courage. It requires those to stand out front and say, not in this city. I was elected to represent all people. And because this symbol is oppressive, because this symbol is full of hate, because it remains in Town Square in the city that we're trying to emphasize inclusion and diversity, I'm here to stand and say we're going to remove it. But again, the silence of those who say that they stand with us, who say that they want it, the silence is deafening. But that's okay. They're going to hear from us. They're going to hear from us. And why are we emphasizing it? Because it's in their hand. They can vote. They can vote to remove it. Again, council meeting is Tuesday.
When is it?
Tuesday. When is it?
Tuesday.
What day is it?
Tuesday.
What day is it?
Tuesday.
What day is it?
Tuesday.
What time is it?
7 o'clock.
What time is it?
7 o'clock.
What time is it?
7 o'clock.
Tuesday at 7 o'clock.
Show up.
Show up and show out. Tuesday at 7 o'clock. Show up and show out. Because I'm telling you it's going to be some that's going to resist it. I'm telling you it's going to be some that's not going to want it to be removed. But again, it's going to be up to us. What time is it?
7 o'clock.
What time is it?
7 o'clock.
What day is it?
Tuesday.
What day is it?
Tuesday.
What day is it?
Tuesday.
Clear your calendar. Make sure you're there. Again, we're standing collectively. Remove the stage. 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 And another thing.
And another thing.
Text, I want justice. I want justice, all one word, so everybody's new out here. All one word to 84576. 84576. That is the line where we will get all the information to you. Who's already a part of it. We give it updates over and over and over again concerning what we have done. Again, collectively. We are still in talks with corporate Chick-fil-A to get things handled on Frederick Boulevard. So while we aren't blocking the entrances, we're not spending our dollars. We're not spending our dollars. So if you want a spicy chicken sandwich, go to Popeyes. And if you got a mama like mine, ask her to make you one between 2 slices of bread. Seriously though, guys, we need a collective effort to continue to move the needle of progress forward. It does not happen with 1 or 2 people. It doesn't happen with 1 or 2 people. We are letting you know every time the needle of progress moves forward. If you're on that line, you get an update. So for those of you who were connected, you knew when we had a meeting with Chick-fil-A. You knew that we had a meeting with the police chief. You knew about this tonight, and you're going to know about everything that happened. check the votes, and we're going to call them out by name. Some of them are up for re-election. Some of them are currently running. We're going to hold all of them accountable. Do you hear me? We're going to hold all of them accountable. You can't buy votes. You can't buy votes. And you can't steal them. You can't pressure them. You're going to remove this thing on Tuesday. You're going to vote to remove this thing on Tuesday. No more delay tactics. Vote to remove this mug on Tuesday.
Just to wake y'all up. And another thing. My brother talked about where we recently went to Chick-fil-A, but we would be remiss if we didn't talk about the moment that we're in. Right here in the city of Portsmouth, my mind goes back to Marshall Franklin, who was shot down in his home by Portsmouth police. My mind goes back to David Warren, who was shot down in his home by Portsmouth police. My mind goes to William Chapman, a young brother that was shot in his face for going into Walmart. My mind goes to Walter Brown, that was shot in his home in front of his children. My mind goes to Eric Garner. My mind goes to Trayvon Martin. My mind goes to our brother Floyd, who was barely resisting, and put their knees on his neck. And for almost 9 minutes, our brother was murdered in front of the whole world. So what do we do in this moment? How do we do it here in the city of Portsmouth? Well, let me tell you what we did. We met with the police chief. We met with the chief, and we told him the team in that this moment required more than just words. It required action. It required policy change. Now get this here. Watch the courts. Watch what happens in Minnesota. You heard what the DA said. There may be evidence that alludes that he may not have violated policy, which means that's an AKA word that says that he might not be guilty. And why was he may not be guilty? It's because of policy. Policy is a way to protect legalized murder. And that's what we see with black folks in this country. It's already an atrocity that we're losing our lives. But even more than that, we are protected in the court. So here's what we got to do. We need a new use of force policy, a new use of force continuum that says it is strictly prohibited that you will not put your knee on another human being's neck. It is prohibited. We want to make it clear. We want to make it crystal clear. So when these murderers go to court, we can hold them accountable. We ought to have legislation that makes shooting an unarmed African American a hate crime in this country. That way that we prosecute it to the full extent of the law. Here's what we got to do. It's not only the policy. We got to start to get inside of the police department itself. Internal affairs, when you got to make your complaint, to make sure things are independent. We have to make sure that we have diversity in the department. Right now in the Portsmouth Police Department, there's 12 captains. Not one of them are African American. All of them are white. How do we change it? Now here's the thing, constructive dialogue. Constructive dialogue with the chief. Now here's what I will do. Now, it took some effort. It took some effort. But our chief is out here today. Now I want to tell her that this is not about the hate of all good officers. This is not about the hate of all. This is about getting rid of the bad ones. This is about not allowing them to stay there anymore. This is about removing racism in all its forms, including the one that stands right here in the middle of town square. And we're going to continue to meet with her and continue to press the department for these things that we believe in. So again, but it starts with our collective vote. It starts when? Now. But on Tuesday, 5 We just got an update. We just got an update. And another thing, they changed the time.
5 p.m.
5 p.m.
5 p.m.
5 p.m.
And it's virtual.
And it's virtual.
But we still showing up.
They must have got wind that we were coming. So Tuesday at 5 o'clock.
We still show up.
Yeah, I know some of you may be getting off work, but make sure Tuesday you put it down 5 o'clock. You leave and you go virtually to the council meeting. So they'll see our virtual faces. They'll see us there.
Meet us on the sidewalk.
Meet us on the sidewalk. Meet us where?
On the sidewalk. It's city council.
Meet us on the sidewalk at City Council. We'll be down there
We'll be there live.
to make sure that they see us and that they hear us. So Tuesday, what time?
5 p.m.
Tuesday at what time?
5 p.m.
Tuesday at what time?
5 p.m. We're at the steps. The steps of City Hall, 5 p.m. on Tuesday. 5 p.m., y'all.
Bring your mask. So again, make sure that you text I want justice
Oh, 845.
84576. That's all it is, y'all. I want justice to 84576. One word. I want justice to 84576. And we're going to do it.